Imagine the scene. It is 3 o'clock in the morning. You are currently floating through a blissful dream where calories don't exist and your boss has been replaced by a friendly golden retriever. The world is silent, peaceful, and perfectly still. Then, without a hint of a warning, the sound of 1,000 thundering hooves erupts in the hallway. It sounds like a pack of caffeinated velociraptors is practicing for a marathon on your hardwood floors. There is a frantic skidding sound, a dull thud against the bedroom door, and suddenly, a 5-pound ball of fur and fury launches itself off your stomach like a springboard. You bolt upright, heart hammering against your ribs, only to see 2 glowing neon orbs staring at you from the top of your wardrobe. Welcome to the 3 AM Feline Olympics. As a journalist who has spent years interviewing experts, and as a psychologist who has spent even longer decoding the feline mind, I can tell you that your cat hasn't actually lost its mind. In fact, what they are doing once the lights go out is one of the most sophisticated, ancient, and deeply misunderstood rituals in the animal kingdom. Most people dismiss this as just the zoomies or a simple case of midnight madness. We laugh at the videos we post about our sleep deprivation, and we move on. But if we peel back the layers of domesticity, we find a biological masterpiece at work. The first thing we need to debunk is the idea that cats are nocturnal. They aren't. Biologically speaking, they are crepuscular. This means their entire evolutionary blueprint is hardwired for the twilight hours, that magical bridge between the world of light and the world of shadow. When you flip that light switch, you aren't just making it dark. You are activating a high-tech internal operating system that has been refined over millions of years. Inside those eyes is the tapetum lucidum, a mirror-like layer that reflects light back through the retina. To your cat, your pitch-black bedroom isn't dark at all. It is a vibrant, high-contrast playground where every dust mote is a potential target and every shadow is a hidden rival. Let's talk about those 3 AM sprints, what we call frenetic random activity periods, or fraps. To you, it looks like your cat has been possessed by the spirit of a caffeinated squirrel. To them, it's a high-stakes tactical simulation. Imagine a world where your survival depends on a burst of speed that could outrun a predator or catch a lightning-fast lizard. In your living room, that lizard is a piece of lint. This isn't just extra energy. It's a biological purge. When the sun goes down, the cat's predatory switch is flipped into the on position. But in a modern apartment, there's nothing to actually kill. This creates a neurochemical bottleneck. By sprinting from the litter box to the top of the fridge, often called the poop zoomies, because the act of using the box stimulates the vagus nerve, they are literally flushing their system with a cocktail of dopamine and adrenaline. It's their version of a victory lap and a panic attack rolled into one. They aren't just running through your house. They are running through a mental Serengeti, dodging imaginary hyenas and clearing invisible ravines. Every time they bank off the sofa, they're recalibrating their internal GPS and ensuring their muscles are still peak performance ready. It's hilarious, it's loud, and it's the sound of a perfectly tuned engine clearing its pipes. Now, we have to address the fact that your cat basically thinks they are the head of your household's private security detail. There is a fascinating, slightly arrogant social element to this midnight chaos. In a wild colony, cats are far more communal than we give them credit for, and they operate on a very strict rotation of vigilance. When the rest of the group, that's you, the giant, snoring ape, is vulnerable and unconscious, someone needs to be the designated survivor. By becoming active the moment you go quiet, your cat is effectively clocking in for the graveyard shift. They are patrolling the perimeter of the hallway, checking the boundaries of the bedroom, and ensuring that no intruders have breached the living room fortress. But here's where the science gets funny. They have to test the structural integrity of their world. When they knock a glass of water off your nightstand or bat a pen across the floor until it disappears into the shadow realm, they aren't just being a jerk for the sake of it. Well, they are, but it's for science. They are performing a ritual of physical verification. They are confirming that gravity still works, that objects still have weight, and that they still have absolute dominance over every square inch of the domain. They might stare at you while they do it, which is the feline equivalent of saying, "Don't worry, Susan, I've checked the physics of this coaster, and it still falls down. You're safe now. In their mind, they are the night watchman of the apocalypse, making sure that while you're busy dreaming about flying, the house isn't actually floating away. It's a high-stakes security detail, and your car keys on the floor are just collateral damage in the name of safety. But wait, we need to dive into the part that genuinely makes you question your sanity. The greebles. You've seen it. Your cat freezes mid-stride, stares intensely into a pitch-black corner where there is absolutely nothing but white paint and disappointment, and then hisses at the air. It's enough to make you move out and leave the keys for the ghosts. But as a psychologist, I can tell you, your cat isn't seeing spirits. They are seeing a spectrum of reality you are literally blind to. Their eyes can detect ultraviolet light, meaning a plain wall to you is a neon-lit rave of pheromones, dried mineral trails, and dust mote galaxies to them. They aren't staring at nothing. They are watching a 4K Ultra HD documentary of your house that you simply don't have the subscription for. And it's not just sight. They have ultrasonic hearing that makes your ears look like decorative flaps of skin. They can hear the high-pitched hum of the wiring in your walls or the tiny rhythmic scuttle of a spider 3 rooms away. When they start their midnight opera, that haunting guttural yowl from the bathtub, they aren't just screaming for fun. The bathtub has the best acoustics in the house, and they are using it as a high-fidelity megaphone to announce they've successfully hunted a rogue sock. They are putting on a Broadway concert to show off their survival skills to the pack. And if they finish the night by pinning you down and licking your forehead with a tongue that feels like a rusted wood rasp, that's the ultimate social contract. They are cleaning you because, in their eyes, you're just a very large, very incompetent kitten who doesn't know how to wash behind their ears. It's a sensory overload party where you're the confused guest who forgot to bring a gift. This is where we have to take off our humor hats for a second and put on our clinical coats. As a professional, I've seen this pattern 1,000 times. Owners complain for years about the midnight parkour, the knocked-over vases, and the 4 a.m. howling. Then, one day, they realize the house has been quiet for a week. They think, finally, Fluffy has grown up and learned some manners. But in the feline world, manners are often a symptom of something much darker. A cat's vitality is directly tied to their willingness to be annoying at night. When that one unusual thing, that frantic, wonderful, chaotic ritual, suddenly stops, it's like a warning light flashing on your car's dashboard. Cats are the world champions of hiding pain. It's an evolutionary survival tactic. In the wild, showing weakness is a death sentence. So when they have arthritis that makes that jump to the dresser feel like climbing Everest, or when kidney disease or cognitive decline starts to cloud their mind, they don't cry out. They just sit still. The absence of the midnight zoomies isn't a sign of maturity. It's a sign of a cat that no longer has the surplus energy to play the hero of their own story. The silence is deafening because it means the predator has gone into hiding within its own body. So, the next time you're lying there at 3:15 a.m., listening to what sounds like a bowling ball being dropped into a bathtub, try to find the beauty in the noise. That thud you just heard was a health report. That frantic scratching at the carpet is a confirmation that your cat's nervous system is firing on all cylinders. You are the roommate of an ancient, mysterious being that sees things you can't, hears things you miss, and protects your home from threats that only exist in the ultraviolet spectrum. They are the weirdest, most demanding, and most fascinating security guards you could ever hire. Embrace the chaos, celebrate the insanity, and maybe even offer a little sleepy encouragement when they finish their final lap. Because in the end, a house that shakes at night is a house filled with a cat that is happy, healthy, and fiercely alive. Let them have their moonlight madness. After all, they've spent all day napping just to make sure they're in top form for their most important job, making sure you never, ever get a full night's sleep. It's not just a quirk. It's a love language spoken in the key of chaos. Keep your ears open for the thumping, because that sound is the best news you'll get all day.